RC, the question is simple. Watching what we are watching, a 3-game losing streak for the first time in 20 years. Is it over for Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Yeah, it's over for this team, as in this team can't win a championship the way it's constructed. This team can't win a championship the way it's playing. And obviously we were all so excited, or everyone was so excited because it was Thursday night football and no one ever scores points, that we watched them do what they were able to do on the first drive. They ran the football, got into the play action passes. But as you saw in the highlights, you miss Mike Evans when you have a clear opportunity to score in the back of the end zone, compounded with last week Mike Evans dropping the first big pass of the game when you could have gone up 6-0 on the Carolina Panthers. And so when we watch this team, this isn't the championship team we saw 2 years ago. They don't play defense that way. And once the Baltimore Ravens understood that they didn't have to be something different to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they started to dominate. And so if you're Todd Bowles, you have to figure out a way that Byron Leftwich can get this offense going with incompetent blocking, with no chemistry between the quarterback and the outside skill players, and also no run game, and a defense that is a shell of itself, even from what it was week 1 and 2. This is a team that is going down the drain and spiraling fast. And if they don't do something quickly, we won't even be speaking of Tom Brady down toward the end of the season or in the playoffs. And that's not something we've said for the last 2 decades.
No, I mean, and literally never in his career. And Nico, again, 9 years you played with him. You know, I remind the audience just how well you know him, and you've been there in the good moments and the very few comparatively bad moments that he's had over the course of time. When you see him after the game just searching like that, what do you think is going on in his head?
That he hasn't been in this position in his whole career. So you look back to where they were last year and where they're at right now at this moment. I don't think anyone would have said that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were going to look or have a 3-game slide like they've had the past 3 weeks. So again, you watch this team, and not only are they struggling offensively, defensively they're struggling. They start the game with a muff punt, which that's bad football. That's not winning football. If you expect to play in the playoffs, to be competitive at any point, you cannot play like this. You cannot give up 231 yards on the ground against rushing against your defense. There's no way you can win football games that way, forcing 0 turnovers. So again, I think that the Tampa Bay Bucs at this point right now, yeah, their division is weak and they might have an opportunity to win the division, but beyond that, I don't think they're going to do much. So
Brooke Pryor, for the A, happy birthday. B, she gets in here 6 o'clock in the morning, immediately opens the laptop, and it's just writing nonstop. Because that's what you do. So how do we write the story at this moment of Tom Brady, where he is something I don't think any of us ever expected to see? What is the story right now?
Greeny, I wrote this story. I wrote it last year with Ben Roethlisberger when I saw the end of his career in Pittsburgh. It's not pretty for anyone in the NFL at the end of their career. And I think it's a sad reality that if you don't know when to step away, and it's a hard thing to do. I'm going to be in the nursing home, probably still filing stories. It'll be to a blog. Nobody's going to read it. I'm not going to be on the national stage like this. But it's almost like, you know, Brady's at a blackjack table. He's on a heater. Things are going great. But it's 2 a.m. and you have 16 and you don't need to hit again. You need to walk away while you're up. And he didn't, and this is what he's left with. This is what he kind of has to just make sense of, and it's going to be ugly the rest of the season because he didn't know when to say no.
So, Sach, we can talk all we want about Tom Brady. He's the biggest star and the greatest player in the history of his sport. But the little bit of football that I know in my life, I will say that when one team rushes for 231 yards and the other team rushes for 44 yards, it isn't the quarterback who was the only problem last night, right?
Oh, by no means. He wasn't the only problem. He was part of the problem. But that run defense used to be the pride of Tampa Bay. I mean, Todd Bowles, for historically speaking, he has one of the top-ranked run defenses in the NFL. Yet last night they got ran all over them. I mean, specifically the defensive linemen were getting knocked back. They were getting double teamed into the defensive backfield. You had linebackers getting pancaked. You had missed assignments. It was just bad football all the way around. But you do have to attribute some of that. Obviously, look at some of these plays, right? Like, you're getting guys getting knocked back looking like safeties, right? Like DBs, linebackers looking like safeties. You're getting people getting pancaked. You're getting 200 yards in the second half. The formula could have been for Tampa Bay we're going to play defense, we're going to figure out our offense, even though Tom Brady's struggling. But that can no longer be the formula if the defense is playing this way.
That's exactly what we expected. Remember, they go back to the beginning of the season. They beat Dallas week 1. They give up nothing but 3 points. We figure, okay, they've got a dominating defense. Give Brady and the offense a little time to figure it out. Gronk will eventually come back, and they'll be right back to looking like a Super Bowl.
Back now.
Well, RC, like none of that has happened. Literally none of the things that we expected to happen for this team have happened. And that, more than anything, I think sums up where they sit, RC.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason you got to play the games, though. I mean, we always can do all this prophesizing in the offseason, and this is what a team is going to be, or we can see the team week 1 and say what they're going to be week 7, but that's not how it works. Teams evolve, right? Buildings evolve, organizations evolve, and what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers aren't doing is evolving. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers aren't becoming something that they can that they didn't expect to be in the beginning of the season. When the defense starts to falter, what's the adjustment that you can make when you don't have a run game or an offensive line that you expected to have coming into the season? What does Byron Leftwich do? How does Tom Brady adjust his game? And when you watch the way that this team is playing, everything seems uneven. Everything seems forced. And so now, if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are still in the hunt to win the NFC South some kind of dang way, what do you do? How does Devin White and Levante David, how does Vita Vea, how do you find a way to stop the run? How does Tom Brady make a pass or complete deep balls with Mike Evans, unlike we've seen in the last 2 games, unlike we've seen down the stretch? I do not know that answer, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have to figure it out right now, because if they don't, they're going to become irrelevant with the greatest football player that has ever lived quarterback in their team, and that almost seems impossible.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.